Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Shauna. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. I hope y'all are enjoying y'all's summer vacation so far. I wanted to just have this conversation. It seems like every time I'm going to start doing research for the next topic for this series, something else comes up. So, spirituality and psychosis is not the same. Being mentally ill and spiritually awoken is not the same. I don't care how similar it looks, it's not the same, okay? I used to get offended when people would call me crazy, but I realized that their mental capacity doesn't allow them to see beyond what it is that they see, you know? Like, their thinking is at that level, and that's okay. Obviously, some things, in the mental health world can mimic the spiritual world, like hallucinating, and that's visual and audio, right? You can see things, you can hear things. That doesn't mean it's not actually happening, right? Obviously, no one can see that, right? No one would be able to see that. So you have to know yourself enough to know, no, you are not crazy. Okay? You have to know that. You have to be confident enough in yourself to know that if you believe in something outside of yourself, greater than yourself, it does not make you mentally ill. Some people can't fathom, and some people could, but they just want to suppress you because they don't have the same spiritual gifts. Some people don't understand. Some people are so religious that it doesn't allow them to think along the lines of a spiritual person. So if you're a religious person, some things that are spiritual might not really make sense. And I'm taking a walk, so if y'all hear stuff in the background, it's because I'm just taking a walk in the neighborhood, okay? But yeah, like, the ability to see and hear into the spirit world, or feel into the spirit world, or be led by a higher power, the highest power, the ability to communicate with your ancestors, because those are all different things. Being able to communicate with your ancestors is totally different from being able to hear and see into the spirit world. It can be the same thing, but it's not necessarily the same thing, right? Your ancestors are your spirit guides that are connected to you via the blood. Okay? Angels and spirit guides don't necessarily have to be your ancestors. They don't have to absolutely be connected to you through blood. Sometimes it's just purpose, right? They may have a person that's connected to you, and maybe you linking with them is going to help their bloodline, so they attach themselves onto you through your ancestors, and they become one of your guides, one of your angels. So there's obviously a lot of misconception, around spirituality, and we don't really have like the full understanding on, how to tap in if we weren't taught, right? Or unless this isn't like a natural gift, because for some, this is an actual natural gift. Like, you have some people, this is their spirituality. They practice, tapping in with the ancestors, communicating with the dead. And I'm not saying that I am for it or against it. I'm just saying it doesn't make you crazy. Obviously, if people study this for a religion, it is a real thing. And I'm bringing this up because I was told that I was allowing this information to drive me crazy. I beg to differ. I'm smart enough to know that what I'm experiencing is indeed spiritual, and it is indeed real, and it has nothing to do with religion. Religion conditions us. Okay, religion conditions us. It puts our thinking in a particular box, and it doesn't make room inside of the box. It doesn't allow for the thinking and the perception to expand. If you are a religious person and you feel that you may be spiritual or the other way around, it's not hard to make the transition, because these two lifestyles are parallel to one another, and actually there are so many things that make them similar or the same. It's no way to absolutely separate them, especially when it comes to a higher level of thinking and just learning more about the environment that we're in and how we function within that environment and how we affect one another within our functioning. We had this discussion about my upbringing and my religious background, and as time learned and I began to mature and learn more about religion and just spirituality, I realized that these books are just like a portion. The books it's just like a portion, it's not everything in its entirety, right? It's pretty much just a way for you to have one perspective. I have debates with people all the time about the Bible, the Quran, what's the difference, because I did grow up in a Catholic home, and then my grandmother ended up becoming Pentecostal after being Baptist, after being raised in a full-fledged Catholic home, all Christian denominations, by the way. Okay, so again, your perception is going to be molded by what you have already had presented to you. A lot of us have this understanding that we are or we are not a certain thing, and I don't never want to be the person that's trying to convince someone of something, but I don't want anybody trying to convince me of something either, especially when I made it clear that religion is confusing to non-believers, and it is definitely a tool to manipulate. All of the religions, all of the books have been used by all people to, scapegoat people, right? Other people and their own people in different time frames and eras. We can pick a time frame and just pick a group. Okay? So no one is exempt from the harsh treatment and the reality. I just feel like Black people experienced it more because it happened on a larger scale, and it happened for a longer period of time. Now, although I said I was going to get into some of these topics, I really just wanted to, make sure a lot of things were discussed first, because if you think I'm crazy or if you think I'm a fraud, don't listen. Like, please don't even have a conversation with me when you see me, because I don't want to be looked at as a psycho. I mean, I don't really care, but I don't want that energy being thrown on me. Like, don't throw that on me. Like, if you want to call somebody crazy, call yourself crazy. I don't care how any of this makes me look. I'm not trying to look a certain way by anyone. I don't want to, I don't want to be in an environment where people don't respect my spiritual self, me, who I am as a person. And I want to be able to respect people in tandem, with them respecting me. So I don't want to be considered crazy. Again, if you think I'm crazy, or if you're thinking about calling me crazy, just don't even tune in, because everything about the spiritual world is bizarre. Hence the reason the name of the station is called Inappropriate Radio. There's nothing like really normal in spirituality, especially spirituality. I mean, the conscious community can tell you that, the religious community can tell you that, the spiritual community can tell you that, even the atheists, even the Satanists, okay, can tell you that the spiritual realm and everything concerning it is complex. It's not just one thing or another. It's a combination of many different things. So I just want us to be really careful with the labels. And I was gonna go into like the actual definition of psychosis, and to be real, like, I'm not even gonna lie, if you look up psychosis, I swear to you, there are so many similarities with psychosis and being like mentally ill, right? The main difference is the person who is experiencing psychosis is not aware, right? A spiritual person is alert like a person under psychosis, but I mean aware, social awareness, not feeling the need to, or not knowing when or how to cut off, language pertaining to behavior, pertaining to ideas and thoughts and rationalities pertaining to the spiritual world. So if you're not careful, anybody will label you crazy, okay? You'll be in a straitjacket in a minute. So I'm not like trying to say like, why y'all think I'm crazy? No, I understand why a person would think someone who is highly spiritual can be crazy, especially if they themselves are not religious at the very least. Being conscious and being spiritual, there's a distinction. So I'm not saying there's not a difference, because there is. But I believe that the thinking of being religious, the thought process of it is a little bit lower level than being conscious or like spiritual. A lot of people, they don't really know themselves beyond the book. Okay? They use the book as a navigation tool, to give them an idea of what it is that they should be doing. The book tells them how to live, what to think, how to perceive. So when you put the conscious level in it, it's a different perspective. It's not the same level of thinking. When you put spirituality into it, it's not the same. It's three different things. They correlate with one another, but they're independent of one another. Okay, they're not the same. So I just wanted to make sure we had this conversation, because I'm not going to address anything, and I want everybody to remember this episode, because I'm not going to address any insults. I'm just going to refer you to this episode and keep it moving, because I don't have the energy or the resources, and I mean resources including energy, to have conversations with small-minded people. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. I do love y'all. I hope all is well. I hope y'all, like I said, are enjoying y'all summer. I hope y'all are drinking y'all water, eating y'all fruit, and y'all vegetables, and sipping y'all tea, because it's free. And I love y'all. Okay. Take care of yourselves. Peace. Love y'all.